right, welcome to 8.3 homework help. Here we go. 1 through 3. Find the value of f of x for the given domain. Write x and f of x as an ordered pair. So they give you all of your x values. You're just substituting in to the different equations. I'll do a couple of each one. Number 1, f of x equals 3x minus 2. X equals -2. So we're going to substitute -2 in for x. So we get 3 times -2 minus 2. 3 times -2 is -6, minus 2 is -8. -8. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Okay. Anyways, so then you're going to write it as an ordered pair. So the x value is -2. The y value, or f of x value, is -8. Ta-da! So you're going to do that for the rest of this table. The next one, f of x equals x squared. So you're going to substitute -2 in for x. So f of -2 equals -2. Sorry, well, yeah, -2 squared. -2 squared. -2 times -2 is 4. So then you're going to write it as an ordered pair, -2, comma 4. All right. So then you would do -1 squared, 0 squared, so on. And then finally, f of x equals 5 raised to the x power. So then whatever x is, that's going to be your exponent. So I have 5 raised to the -5 raised to the -2. So you don't, well, when you have a negative exponent, okay, it means that you flip it. So I have 1 over 5 squared. Okay, that means you have to put it in the denominator, so you flip it. So you have 1 over 5 squared, which is 1 over 5 squared is 25. So this one, f of x is, 1 over 25. So then you'd write it as an ordered pair. X is -2. F of x is 1 over 25. Okay, I'll do another one of these. Okay, so -1, so I have 5 raised to the -1. Negative exponent means you have to flip it, so I have 1 over 5 to the first power. 5 to the first power is just 5, so 1 over 5. So 1 over 5. So then if you write it as an ordered pair, x is -1, f of x is 1/5. All right, so you're going to carry on with that. 4 is what we are doing in class today. So is it a rectangle? Is it a rhombus? Is it a square? So rectangle, opposite sides are parallel and congruent, and all angles are 90 degrees. Okay, so your lines have to be perpendicular. So you're going to be using perpendicular slopes. All right, so that's for a rectangle. So you have to prove that in order to prove it's a rectangle. A rhombus, opposite sides are parallel. So our opposite sides parallel, and are all sides congruent. So that's what you're answering for rhombus. So you have to figure that out. Our opposite sides parallel, which you should have already figured that out up here. Are sides congruent? You also should have already figured that out. And then is the figure a square? If your figure is both a rectangle and a rhombus, it is also a square. All right, so that's what you're going to do. So look back on our notes from today. I also recorded the lesson, but I haven't posted it yet because it's still processing, but I'll post it. when it's done. The last part, find the perimeter of each figure below. So perimeter is the outside, right? So how long is the outside? So you're going to find lengths of all the sides and then add them together. So the length of this side plus length of this side plus length of this side plus length of this side. And you're going to add them all together. Okay, same thing with a triangle. Find the lengths of all the sides, add them together. The only one that's funky is a circle and your half circle. So if you're finding the perimeter of a circle, that's called the circumference. Okay, find the circumference. The perimeter of the circle is called the circumference. I gave you the equation. It is 2 pi r. Oh, I did this one for you. Okay, the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. That's the equation you're going to use. So the first thing you have to do is find the radius. Okay, the diameter, if you remember, would go all the way across, right? So the radius is half of that. So that's a radius. So the radius is 3, and I just did that by counting 1, 2, 3. Okay, the radius is 3, and that's all I need to know. So I just go 2 times the radius times pi, and you can just leave it in terms of pi. Or if you multiply it by pi, you should get 18.85-ish. But you can leave it as 6 pi. Okay. So then to do a half circle, you're going to do exactly the same process, except it's a half circle. So you would just divide it by 2. It's only half the perimeter. Okay, it's only half a circle, so it's only half the circumference or half the perimeter. So you would use the same equation, but then you would just divide it by 2 because it's only half. All right. Everything else, you're just finding the lengths of the sides, so you're going to have to use the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem, all right, to find the lengths of all the sides, and you're adding them together. And that's your homework. Reach out if you have any questions.